Mike Phillips here, and today my topic is going to be talking about consistency. There's power and mastery in consistency and doing things over and over the same way every time. There's power and mastery in repetition. So one of the things I want to address in people's lives, especially in business, one of the primary focuses is always on results, right? It's always on what's the outcome. We focus on goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. We're constantly focused on what's ahead, right? And consistency plays a major role, not only in individual success, but in business success as well. And so for me, consistency rates right up there with actions and attitude. I talk a lot about actions and attitude and having a real positive attitude and taking action all the time. And for me, the actions and consistency tie right together, right? Because for you to be consistent, here's the deal. The primary definition of consistency, in fact, is the achievement of a level of performance that doesn't vary greatly from task to task or quality over time. So meaning that what you put into a task, whatever you put in, you get out the same result each time. It's all about repetition. It's all about taking the action to do the same thing. The people that are able to consistently and day in, day out, go and complete the same tasks over and not get tired of it, not get bored of it, be able to do those same things over and over, those are the ones that see the biggest success. So the rule is this: the repetition is the mother of skill, right? And so if you do something enough times, you'll master a skill. You'll be able to. I remember watching years ago. There was or a couple of years ago, a Peyton Manning commercial, and he says, "Look, you put 10,000 hours into something, and you will develop expertise." And so, if you're developing expertise in a specific area because you've done it over and over again, you've been consistent, you're able to do that task over, and get the same result. That's one of those things. People are most successful, and I said this a second ago, the ones that are the most successful are the ones that can perform the same or similar tasks day in, day out, time in, time out, and get a similar outcome. So I mentioned the other day in one of my talks that success leaves clues, right? So if you study somebody that has achieved the result that you want to get, and you study and say, what is it that they're doing to get that result? You're likely to get the same or similar result. And so while success leaves clues, so does failure, right? One thing you can do is make sure that you adjust. Because when you put energy into a task, whether you get the result that you want or not, you are always going to get an outcome. And so one of the things I did years ago, I stopped looking at every single thing that I go after. I stopped looking at it as a matter of success or failure. I know I'm going to get an outcome in a task, right? Now, some of them are a more favorable outcome. It's an outcome that I want. And some of them are not as favorable an outcome, but I'm always going to get an outcome. So when I get that outcome that I want, what I need to do is be able to adjust, be able to repeat those same steps, and be consistent with them, and then I can repeat that same outcome. Here's one of those simple tidbits. If you're getting the results you want, either in your personal life, like from the gym, or your family, in business, work, sales results, for example. I know a lot of people that tune in and watch me are salespeople. I'm a salesperson myself. If you are getting the results that you want, then keep doing those things. If you're not getting the results that you want, then stop it. Right? You have to, if you're not getting what you want out of a task, you must make changes. You've got to adjust. You have to change the way that you're approaching something. Because here's the thing, being consistent and creating a habit in the wrong things is still going to garner wrong results, right? It's still not going to give you the outcome that you're hoping for. So, just because you're repeating something doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it right. So when you're repeating something, make sure that you're repeating the skills that are going to lead to the outcomes that you want. one of the key reasons here, when I'm talking about consistency, one of the key reasons people struggle with staying consistent over time is in the long term. People live for the short term right now, especially right now. We live in a world of immediacy. We live in a world of microwave society. We live in a world where all you have to do if you want the answer to a question right now is Google it. And heaven forbid it doesn't return in 3 seconds, right? If it doesn't return in 3 seconds, my goodness, it's like the world's coming to an end. And within 3 seconds, if you Google something, you get that immediate response, you're going to get a whole list of things that are possible answers or possible outcomes to what it is that you're looking up, right? So in general, if people don't get those immediate results, then they get sidetracked. They don't see the point in continuing with those things. The habit of consistency is not about quick results. It's about making incremental progress. It's about making adjustments. It's about mastering little things that are going to lead you to the mastery of the big task to get the result that you want. Think about sports teams. I'm a big fan of football analogies. In sports teams, I like sports teams because to me, they parallel the business environment. Most teams don't just start out winning because they want to. They don't just show up and go, well, hey, we're here, so we're ready to win. Well, healthy desire is a good thing. People should have a healthy desire and a want to win. That can send you in the right direction. It can propel you in the right direction. But the big key is sports teams practice, and they practice a lot, and they practice over and over and over again, and they do the same things. They may take one skill and they'll drill it how many hundreds of times, right? It's that consistent repetition practice that develops that expertise for the individual in that one skill, in that one area, in that one task. In fact, much more time is spent on the practice field than it is playing in a game. If you study professional NFL teams, professional football teams, and we are a football family over here, right? If you study them, people don't just show up and play. They spend how many hours? 5, 6, 7 hours a day in practice just so they can show up and they get, it's not even a whole game of playing time. It's not a half of playing time. It's not a quarter of playing time. It's measured in minutes, right? They perform hours to create excellence so that they can be an absolute master in those minutes that they have to perform. And the key is when they show up with a lot of confidence and they show up to play. Right? They don't show up to ride the sideline. So let me ask you this. Are you doing the same thing in your life, in your personal life, in your business life? Are you spending as much time or more time practicing, drilling, working on yourself, growing, investing in yourself? I had a video blog, a vlog on investing in yourself the other night. Are you spending as much time investing in yourself to be great and consistently doing those things over and over and over, creating those repetitive tasks so that you can see the success at the end? Are you spending as much time in investing in those, or are you simply showing up in life with a desire? Because I'll tell you, if you're just showing up in life with the desire, you're like, hey, here I am, I really want it. I really want to win. Again, desire is one thing. It'll get you so far. Positive attitude will get you so far. There's a bunch to be said about the mentality and what's in between your ears. There really is. At the same time, to move from where you are at into a more successful position, whether it be in job and life, family, right? Sometimes if you want to be a better parent, you need to seek out other parental advice. Right? I know I do from time to time. I'm like, am I doing this right, or am I just insane? So you have to make sure that you're spending as much time investing in the practice time, more time in the practice time, and being consistent in those little things to be able to really have mastery when it's time to show up and perform and produce and show up to the game, so to speak, right? So in close, here's how I'll close out. Consistency takes commitment. It takes repetition. Repetition creates habit. I think one of the rules is 26 spaced repetitions. If you do something 26 times with time in between it, that's how you start to develop skill. Skills over time create habit, right? Producing those same skills over time, over and over and over again. And those skills and those habits repeated, that's what creates expertise. That's what creates mastery. If you want to be an expert at something, I'm a firm believer, anybody can be an expert at anything they put their mind to, but you've got to invest the time and you've got to be consistent in the tasks leading up to it. You can't just show up and say, well, I'm an expert, or I'm a master, or I'm a guru because I said I am. People will find you out, so when you develop the right positive habits, those things in turn create similar results each time. And when you get similar results each time, right, then you're being consistent in the skills leading up to that. So here's my message for the day. Be consistent. Master the skills, right? Create those positive habits. It really is more than just showing up with a desire. You have to show up with some skill set also. So with that, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic evening. Be consistent. Whatever it is that you're going after tonight, do it, and do it well.